Welcome back to another short learning video. This time we're going to take on custom formatting in Excel. Now we're going to look at three types of things: numbers, dates, and special type of numbers that you can do and how we can take advantage of those. We're really going after the custom formatting features here, advanced formatting. So let's take a look at this, and we'll pop over to Excel. And within Excel, we're going to look at creating a spreadsheet. And I got inspired by this because I was looking at the LinkedIn, and they saw some of the things that they're requiring for people to get the LinkedIn, not certification, but the credential on LinkedIn. And they wanted to show how you display numbers. So I figured we would go ahead and talk about that. So right here you have the numbers. Clearly we can hit the fast formatting numbers here and get rid of decimal, things like that. That's pretty simple. But under the custom formatting, you actually have multiple criteria. You have positive, negative, zero, and you have text. But we're not going to cover the text here, so we're just going to mark that red for a moment because we're going to focus on the positive aspects of the number. So if I right click here and go to format cells, you can see, and I saw the test was kind of interesting. You had the number. What happens is, you see how this displays here? The original number is 29,500,000. When I hit one comma, it gets rid of the three of the zeros. Another comma, it gets rid of the other zeros. So by having the pound number sign 0.0, it allows you to do the 29.5. It's only 2 digits there. You can probably even lean that a little bit more. But in general, I always like to go with the 4-digit spread. But you can probably get away with just those two. Well, anyway, that's how you do that. And the number sign gives it, I like to put these designations out there so we were millions and billions. We would be able to format it. You see, big organizations might have something in the billions. So it actually shows up quite well. Now you separate these with a semicolon to get to the negative, and then after the negative, the zero, and of course the text. So let's just take a look at the negative. And I've done one here on the negative. On the negative, you can see I put the, I didn't want to show it, and the number is still there. You can actually see it, negative 29.5 million. And the way I got rid of it, if I put semicolon and nothing in between, if I had put the numbers in here, it would have shown the number any way I wanted with negative. But maybe it doesn't make sense to show negative revenue in some cases, for whatever that might be in your analysis report, or maybe it's salaries or those kind of things where you don't need to show somebody who's no longer there. So you might be able to hide it by doing custom formatting, but not get rid of the placeholder, because maybe you still want that number there. You can still perform math on that number. Of course, there is the zero criteria. The zero criteria, when you come under the zero criteria, you remember the first placeholder was the, so you put 0.0, and when I get a semicolon and leave nothing after it, it goes away. So for zero, it goes away. For negative value, it goes away. And I'm going to leave the text off of here. I just want to focus on numbers on this video. Dates. A lot of times people see this number and they don't understand why it's not a date. This is very simply handled by, well, quite honestly, you can just choose date, right? But you can also right-click, format cells, come over to the date, go to custom, and you can play with it and watch what happens here. When I hit M, it switches 3 M's, heads October, 4 M's hit spell out the entire October. So 3 gives me a 3-digit abbreviation, 4 gives me that. Now the number here, I'm using the equal to date function, it's still a number behind the scenes. In all these cases, we're just applying formatting to disguise how it looks. I can change the year to 4-digit years by simply putting that. It's October 20, that's kind of confusing, 2022. And we can do it this way. So it's a good way of doing it. And if you can play with a D, you can add another D here, and you can change it to the actual day. So there's a lot you can do in this one. You can add text in here and those kind of things. So let's accept that. We'll accept that strange number. Now for phone numbers, I put in a phone number. Don't call that number. I just randomly made that number up. Format cells. We'll go to special characters, and Excel has a phone number designation, so we hit film on it, look at what it does. It automatically puts it in a format, the number. Same thing for zip code. Right click, format cells, we repeat the action in that regard, in custom special formatting. You see zip plus 4, we can do it in 2 different extensions if we have lucky enough to do it. So this turns into a zip. That's good when you have a leading 0 or something. Format cells, special, zip plus 4. And now voila, I have zip plus 4, which is really becoming more common today than we did before. That's the marathon zip code. Social security number? No, this is not my social security number. Don't bother. And format cells. Again, special social security number. And you can see it formats as a social security number. The most powerful features I really like are these numbers with the 4 different criteria and the dates. You can do an awful lot with dates to organize them the way you want to see them, because a lot of different countries have a lot of different date formats and everything, so you want to show them in that format. I find these very useful formats. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel and feel free to learn more about Excel.